Good afternoon, everyone. Hope all is well. So, the first live session for today, Wednesday, 8th of July, where we are going to be going live with Victor Obogo, who who was also a professional rugby player and has turned into an entrepreneur, leading multiple businesses over the time. And we're going to be speaking about all of that information with him to share that knowledge, positivity of how he turned into a professional rugby player and how did he leverage that career in terms of leading multiple businesses, and why did he choose to move away from rugby and sports into turning into a businessman. So let's just wait for Victor. Anyone has any questions regarding business, sports, do put them in here. Sorry about the wait. Come to Ghana. Sure, I will. Anyone got any questions regarding business or sports, do put them in here. Sorry, we're just waiting for our guest to arrive shortly. We're having some technical difficulties, but it should be sorted. So give it a moment. Sorry about the wait, everyone. Hope everyone who's joined in here so far is having a good day. Townhouses needed in Ghana. Cool. Sorry about the wait, everyone. So, how's everyone doing so far? Let's talk while I wait for my guest to turn up. Go on, get us all a sandwich. I've got some cherries as well. You're funny, SML. You're funny, man. But I like it. You're a diehard fan of my live sessions. Anyone want some cherries? Here. Has anyone had cherries before and swallowed the seed? Come on, let's be a bit funny out here. Or had any kind of fruit that you've swallowed a seed on and choked on it. And what happens when you swallow a seed and it goes into your stomach? I can't believe I'm having cherries on my live session. But how's the deal going with the care home people? Pretty good. Solicitors are instructed, everything's moving forward. It's taken quite a while. I remember when I did my first viewing with them back in the third week of April, and they put an offer through. The link again. Super. Okay. Send. Here we go. So we've got our guest finally on here. Victor, just sending you the Victor, if you can accept the conversation so you can then come live. Finally, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm all good, thanks. And you?
Good, good, all is well. Thank you so much for taking out your time and coming on here on the live session to share the knowledge, share the wealth of knowledge that you have. You've been in professional rugby, you're now a business entrepreneur. It's good to have you on because there are people out there that do not know what to do with their careers. So thank you so much for coming on here to share that wealth with us today.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. Pleasure, mate.
Super. Before we move forward, Victor, with the conversation, if you can introduce yourself as to who you are and what you do, and then we can move forward.
Yeah, I'm. I'm
Can you
getting
hear me well?
feedback. I'm getting free. It's all your thing. Your question's been repeated again. Okay, this is much better, I think. Right, I'm Victor Obogu. There's a bit of a delay.
Is there? I don't know why.
I'm not quite sure because I'm hearing what you're saying, and then it's been repeated again.
Have you got your you're doing it on your phone, right?
I am, yeah.
Perfect. So now we're good. So let's go.
Yeah.
Is there a technical difficulty? Do you want to
Yeah.
join in? Do you want to join in again?
Yeah, that'd be better. So I keep when you say something, I hear
That's
it,
fine.
and then when I start talking, it's repeated again. Like a
Fine.
delay.
Let's join in again. Let me take you out, and then you can join in again. Apologies for this, but it should be sorted. Now let's go. Super.
Okay, hi.
Is it okay now?
Yeah, yeah, it is.
Great stuff.
So thank
Hopefully,
you so much for coming on. We already spoke about, I already gave a bit of introduction, but before we move forward, if you can introduce yourself as to who you are and what you do, and then we can move forward.
yeah, sure. I'm Victor Obogu, I'm founder of VU Limited, a sports travel and hospitality business based in Bath,
Okay.
and former England Bath rugby player, played in the front row for a number of years.
Wow.
I've been retired now for quite some time.
Yeah. Um, so Victor, I mean, I know that you were in professional rugby. You played for England, you played for Bath, and now today you're into business, running your own sports sort of travel business kind of thing. I ask this to all my guests that come on here. Did you always aspire to be a rugby player? Or, as growing up as kids, we always think about either being a doctor or lawyer or an architect or an engineer. I mean, did you have that aspiration in mind to become like that one day? Or no, from the start, you were pretty much into sports and into rugby, and that's what you took on board moving forward?
No, it didn't quite work out that way because I was a little bit of background of me. I was born in Lagos,
Okay.
and that's in Lagos, Nigeria, and
How far
up
now?
up up, up until then, I didn't know what the hell rugby was,
Yeah.
and I left. I came to England. I came to England when I was 13. Went to boarding school in Devon,
Okay.
and that was where I discovered rugby. Up until then, my sport was soccer. Pele
Okay.
was my hero.
Yeah.
Rugby was something I'd never heard of, and I
So
remember the first.
football and rugby, two different avenues, right? I mean, one you kick the ball, one you hold the ball. So, I mean, it's like, why that transition? I mean, why didn't you carry on with your what you knew about football and get into football, and why did you choose rugby over it?
I didn't choose rugby. Rugby chose me. Well, in fact,
That's good.
I didn't have any choice because it was quite a small school,
Okay.
a small school, and as a 13-year-old,
Yep.
yeah, the second year, second, third, fourth, fifth years weren't allowed to play football. Rugby was the only
Okay.
option. You can only play football in the sixth form.
Oh,
So I arrived here in October, coming from sort of 90-degree heat in Lagos one day, and the next day I was in snowdrifts on the edge of Exmoor, and
wow.
I was given here's the rugby shirt, shorts, here's some boots, socks, right, get out there, we're gonna get to go into some training.
And how was that
Um,
experience? I mean, moving onto the field for the first time with, I mean, rugby players I've seen are pretty tall and hefty, like big guys. How was it?
mm.
How was that? I mean, although you were a young boy and everything, but I'm sure within that period of you getting onto the field, there must have been some big guys who were training with you or teaching you all that kind of stuff.
It
How
was
was
it
that
was it
experience
was,
of getting onto the field?
it was well, I'll tell you the experience of coming from Lagos, 90-degree
Yeah,
heat,
yeah,
arriving in London, going home to where my father was staying in Sunningdale for one night.
yeah.
Next day, I was down in Devon,
Okay,
and it's snow drifts, it's freezing.
yeah,
So never having seen snow, never having been in anything below 20 degrees,
yeah.
to be in freezing cold. I mean, I was wearing two pairs of trousers, three
Wow,
jumpers because I was
wow.
so cold. To go into here's a shirt, shorts. You got to go out there and train in the cold. I thought
Yeah,
this is crazy. And my sort of first introduction to rugby, I lasted under 5 minutes. After which I was sent off.
seriously.
Yeah, well, I didn't know the rules. If you
Okay,
played soccer and played
yeah,
basketball,
yeah,
any sport that I'd played up until then, it's all about moving forward, getting into space. You can pass backwards, you can
exactly.
pass forwards, you
Ex-
throw it into the gap.
Yeah.
But rugby, no. You run forward, you pass the ball backwards. You can't throw it forward.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I didn't know any of the rules. So yeah, I was disruptive in that first session. I was sent in after 5 minutes,
Wow.
and I just thought, thank God above. Nice
And
hot
did you
shower, nice
and
hot shower, getting the warmth.
did you think that was a challenge to yourself that, you know, you didn't know the game, you didn't know the rules, but you wanted to learn? I mean, did you move forward with that in life and take that challenge on board and move, you know,
I
get
didn't
on with
see it.
rugby?
Actually, I didn't see it in that way because for me, having just arrived, in England, I just thought it's too cold out there. I could barely speak English because obviously growing up in Lagos,
Yep, yep,
speaking pidgin English and a bit of the local
yep,
lingo,
yep.
and it was quite a weird environment for me.
Okay.
So I was quite happy to go in. I was quite happy to grab a hot shower and be somewhere warm. And for the rest of that term, I played table tennis with all the other Asian kids that had joined the school
Yeah.
that year. So it was not until the following year when I realised that all the in kids played rugby,
Okay.
and there was a handful of girls that were at the school. It was it wasn't a properly mixed school, but there's a handful of girls out in the school,
Okay.
and all the all the in, all the in boys played rugby. The girls loved all the rugby players. There was a particular girl that I loved, and I thought,
Oh,
I've got to play this sport.
just to impress her. Just to impress her.
I'm gonna. If I want to be in, I'm gonna play this game.
Yeah.
That was why I thought, right, next year I'm gonna give it a go. And and they said, right, if you want to play this game, we'll put you out in the wing because you're fast.
Yep.
So you put you out in the wing. All we have to do, and we'll pass the ball to you. All you have to do is just run and touch it
Okay.
down across that line behind the post. Yeah, can
Yep.
you do
Yep.
that?
Yep.
I said, yeah, sure, I can handle
I
that.
can
I was quite,
manage.
I was fast. I was strong. So
Yeah. Yeah.
all of a sudden, I'm in the school team playing on the wing. They throw the ball to me, and boom, I was scoring tries left, right, and centre.
Wow.
And that was my introduction to rugby. And obviously, having that sort of a natural competitive streak
Yep.
that every sportsman has, no matter which sport they play.
Of course.
I was very competitive, didn't want to lose, and that was my my introduction to the game, and I loved it ever since because it was just such a great team, team sport.
Absolutely. And then talk me through your first break into club and country. How did that happen, and how did you feel about that? That when sort of the club came up and said, "We want you," and the country came up and said, "We want you to play for us." How was that feeling? So take me through your first break and that feeling.
Yeah, I mean, rugby. Obviously, in those days, rugby was completely an amateur game. So I played in 14 under 14s at school. Then at under 15s went to the county trials. I actually moved from prop from the wing
Okay.
fullback to inside centre,
Okay.
and then there was one particular game, the prop, one of our props got injured, and I was the second biggest, kid in the team. So,
So you had to take his position.
yeah, the coach said, "Look, do you mind filling in the prop for the next game or two whilst the to give the injured guy a chance to come back?" And I said, "Yeah,
Okay.
sure, why not?" So I played in the front row, and I thought, wow, I love it here. It's, it's nice tight knit. I don't have to wait for all those jokers in the pack to get the ball out to me out
Sure.
at the back line.
Now you were the one
I can
passing the
get
ball
the ball,
over.
and boom! I loved it. I loved the confrontation, and I loved the fact that it was, it's the only area on the pitch where you come to direct confrontation with your opposite number,
Of course.
and
And it's
and,
danger, right? I mean
and
NFL,
warm. It was warm.
yeah. Yeah, I mean NFL is like where everyone's wearing all the gear, you know, the helmet, the pads
Yeah.
and all that kind of stuff. and yet they get hurt. I mean, I can just imagine like being at that front row and the other team just coming charging at you. I mean, I've been told that you're not a boxer and you're not a rugby player until you break your nose. Is that right?
That's not right in rugby. This is natural. This isn't broken. I've got no excuse for this nose.
No, I'm not talking about your nose, but in particular, does that happen? Does that happen often? I mean, you know, like being at the front row and the other team is charging at you, and you know, how does it feel?
No, I was quite lucky, but I love it. I love the physicality of the sport, and I love the physicality of playing in the front row. Yeah, it's awesome, absolutely awesome. But you know, going back to the original question, I think we've sort of digressed a bit.
Yeah.
So went through played for the county. Then you go to the Southwest Trials.
Yep.
And ended up playing. I didn't make it for the schoolboys at the under 16s level, but played schoolboys under 18.
Okay.
Which is, and at that stage, I mean, rugby was just another, for me, rugby was just another sport that I played and enjoyed playing, amongst all the other school sports, where I sort of played squash for the school, played tennis for the table tennis for the school, basketball for the school.
So you were an all-round sportsman and everything, basically.
Even cricket. You know?
Wow. Yeah. Wow.
But yeah, so play, go to university, play for England students, and it was only in my sort of final term at Oxford that sort of decided that actually I played for England schools, I played for England students. Yeah, I played when I did my first degree at Birmingham. I played at Moseley, one of the Premiership clubs at the time.
Okay.
I played for the England A team. The only thing that sort of eluded me was getting a full international, cap.
Yep.
That was when I decided to, rather than follow the rest of the Oxford Blues into the city, I thought, right, I'm going to give myself 3 years to get an England cap, a full England cap. That was when I sort of decided to move to Bath, joined Bath Rugby Club because they were the top team at the time.
Okay.
And I had, so was it Graham Dorr was playing for England at the time. Gareth Chilcott was playing for England at the time in the front row. The other prop that was at Bath, Richard Lee, was playing for the England A team. So I thought, go to Bath, give myself 3 years. If I can break into the Bath front row, then I'm guaranteed an England cap. That was my best route, best
route to get into break yourself through into the England cap. Yep.
So joined Bath, and then within 3 years I made it, got my first cap in 92, playing against Canada, which was absolutely awesome. But it wasn't as sweet as it could be.
Okay. Because did you guys win?
We were playing at Wembley Stadium rather than Twickenham.
Yeah. Okay. Twickenham is the heart of rugby, right? You got to be there. Yeah.
But my first cap was at Wembley Stadium.
But did you guys win that match?
Yes, we did.
Great stuff.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, good. Good hard game. Because in Canada in those days had a very strong pack.
Okay.
It was.
And then how long did you go on with the England team? I mean.
Well, I got into the England squad, the senior squad, in 1990 when.
Okay.
Went on tour, the very first England tour was to Argentina.
Okay.
And that was the first, the first team to tour Argentina following the Falklands War. So the reception wasn't the best. Some of the when we'd go out, sort of warming up, and you're dodging the oranges and the apples.
Yeah. Seriously. Wow.
But no, it's a beautiful country, Argentina.
Of course.
I haven't had the opportunity of going back since, but absolutely amazing place. Loved the country. Loved the party atmosphere. Loved the party in Buenos Aires, which was amazing.
Sure.
It was a really tough tour as well. It was a series that we drew. I mean, Argentina in those days were, and still now, very, very formidable side. That took its scrummaging very, very
Sure. And then when did you find yourself like at the top of your career? Like you obviously you joined in 1990s in the England team. When did you find yourself at the top of your career that, I am like perfect out here right now? When did that time come?
There's never such a thing as perfect in the
Yeah,
sporting world.
yeah.
I was lucky enough to play a number of times for England and play the World Cup
Did
in
you
South
did you
Africa,
rub
which
your did
was
you did you
phenomenal.
rub your shoulders with Johnny Wilkinson?
Yeah, towards the end, yeah, we were part of the '99 World Cup, World Cup
Okay.
squad. So we played
Oh, so
together,
you
played against,
played in the 99 World Cup.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah. It was a
Wow.
'99
I mean,
World Cup,
can I just say something
'95.
out here? 99, the World Cup is when I put on the TV and I saw England team playing rugby for the first time. That was the first time in my life that I put on rugby and I saw Johnny Wilkinson play, right? And that name in my head has been there since that time because through his efforts, obviously the team effort as well, but Johnny Wilkinson was all over the place, and that's what sort of I wouldn't say I still don't understand rugby till this day. The only thing I know that in rugby
Join, join the club.
you throw the ball backwards, and in NFL you throw the ball forwards. That's all I knew, and till this day that's all I know. But I want to ask you a few questions about rugby out here. You know when they throw the ball and the guys are on the side over here and they throw the ball from the outside inside. What is that called? And
So
then you
the line out,
okay.
yeah, where you got
And why
the
does that happen?
well, that's essentially to to restart the game.
So it's like a
If
corner
out,
or
yeah,
when the ball goes outside in football, you throw the ball inside again and it
yeah,
restarts. Okay, got you. All right.
similar scenario. Yes, essentially
And I guess the when they kick the ball and they try and get it over the bar, that's like the penalty, I guess.
the goalpost.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm too,
Yeah,
apologies for that.
it's either a penalty kick if there's been an infringement, or a conversion after scored.
Okay,
That's
fine.
why that's kick.
Super. And then when did you think to hang up the boots and that's it, we're done. We're done with rugby out here.
I actually thought that in well, wind back a little. I'd been prior to leaving for South Africa for the '95 World Cup. Opened the bar Shooters Joe's on the King's Road in
Okay.
London, and
Okay.
then went to South Africa. Came back from the World Cup. I'd never worked in bars before, so I spent that summer in the bar.
In Bath.
And
Okay.
being a prop forward, I find it quite difficult to refuse people's hospitality. So rather than joining pre-season training in July
Yeah.
and be ready in readiness for the season, because the game actually went professional that summer.
Yeah.
So I was still playing for Bath, living in London, bar. Didn't train at all. I was very unfit. Got back got back to Bath. Played in the first couple of England games in the autumn internationals. Got dropped because I clearly lost focus and I wasn't
Yeah.
at my
Yeah.
best.
Yeah. Yeah.
And following following year '96, I got transfer listed by Bath. That was a true wake up call to the club that I spent 10 years at and won. I think we won the Premiership 6 times, the domestic cup 5 times. We did the double a
Wow.
couple of occasions.
Wow.
So that was a phenomenal 10 years at Bath, playing at the top and dominating the club landscape.
Yep.
And that was really my wake up call. So I actually moved back down to Bath. I got focused on my training, and set the '99 World Cup as a sort of target,
Target.
you know,
Yep.
get
Yep.
there, place at the end of that season, and retire. So it was a you know, proper, it's a 2 year plan. Get fit, get my place back in Bath, get my place back in the England squad, get into '99 World Cup squad,
Win the
place at the
World
end of that
Cup.
season. Yeah, well, didn't quite win the World Cup that one.
Yeah.
We got knocked out in the quarterfinals.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was, I mean, that was, you know, that was my sort of plan. So which worked out quite well. You know,
Okay.
got we ended up winning the European Cup in '98 and got my place back in the England squad with 6 months to go for the World Cup, and you know, placed in that season, and sort of left. So it was planned. It was
That you want after the '99 World Cup, you wanted to call it a day and then move on.
yeah, oh yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
then,
No,
so
I
then,
wasn't getting,
so
I wasn't, I wasn't getting any younger,
oh
and you know,
well,
professional. Everyone's
you still look very young, Victor. It's fine.
I'll take that.
So then, once you decided to hang up your boots, what came next? I mean, were you in a world where you thought that, what should I do now? Where do I go from here? Or you already had that plan, like you've mentioned in our in the conversation earlier, that you had everything set and planned for where you wanted to get to and how you wanted to achieve that. So that once you retired, did you have a plan of what needs to be done ahead, or you were just like taking it one day at a time?
I mean, I guess you know we came from, you know, from an amateur era into professional era, and I mean, for me personally, when I was growing up, I always wanted to go into business.
Okay.
Okay? Rugby was something, and sport was something I enjoyed playing. It never really, I was never, I guess, oh, I want to be a rugby. It wasn't a professional sport for a start.
Okay. Okay.
I I played it because I enjoyed it and enjoyed the camaraderie, and it was never a long term thing. I was, yeah, my plan, my father was in business, in import and export business. I always wanted to, you know, to go into business, and I think rugby waylaid me. It
Gotcha.
threw me off course. You know what I mean? A fantastic course.
But it threw you, of course, for a good reason. Today,
Yeah,
you're an
yeah.
inspiration to many in the world, you know, in terms of rugby, whatever. They must be looking up to you and saying, you know, I want to be like him. I want to be like Victor. I want to be that forward or the side winger, whatever.
You know, and change that. It was
Yeah.
absolutely phenomenal. Um, and then, you know, when I retired, you know, as I said, I do it. You know, we had, you know, Shoeless Jerks, which was sold, and then, you know, there was a guy that I met actually in at Sun City during the '95 World Cup, who ran a travel business.
Okay. Hello.
Yeah, I know. Back again, he's but I'm ready. He's back to me. Anyway, I'll talk over it.
Yep.
Yeah, so I got involved in he wanted to set up a travel a wider travel business, and got involved into it, and and then, I was sort of leading the sports side of things, and we ended up with 800 people to Australia 2000 World Cup,
Okay.
propelled England won that World Cup in
Yeah.
three. Came back up, and time the company was taken over by another company. And quite see eye to eye.
Vic,
You and
Victor,
I,
you're breaking up. Do you wanna exit this and come back again?
yeah, it was feedback.
Yeah, just let's exit this and come back again on this. Sorry about this, guys. We're having some issues out here, but we'll get that sorted.
Yep, is that better?
Yep, all good.
Okay, yeah. Um, yeah, when getting back to what to what I was saying, retired in 2000 and worked with a travel business running the sports travel side of things. I was supposed to be just the figurehead and just go on all the trips. We got the license for the 2003 World Cup. We ended up taking over 800 people to Australia for for the World Cup, which we won, which was absolutely amazing.
Yeah,
Came back from Australia, met the new owners of the business. We didn't see eye to eye. They'd turfed out the previous guy who started the business. The reason I got involved with it, and didn't want to didn't want to
didn't want to
make
carry on.
bonus of the previous trip.
Yeah,
So I said to the guy, you know something, I don't need the stress. I'm out of here. I left straight away, and set up on my own the next day, doing sports, travel, and hospitality. So it wasn't planned. It was just one event led to another,
exactly. And that's how
and
life is, right? That's how
yeah,
life is. You just gotta, when you see that opportunity, just take it. Just take
yeah.
it and forget about everything and move focused, be focused in that to carry that on further. So today here we are, you started that in 2000, 20 years on. How has that journey been for you?
I actually started the business in 2004.
Okay.
To 2004, and from scratch, in one of the rooms at my home. And the first, we got up to 2008. We're growing nicely to 2008, and then it was like 2008, like boom, who put that big drop
Yep.
there?
Yep.
Financial crash when our
Everything
revenue,
went bust.
it went well, similar to what's happening right now, but this is a lot
Exactly.
worse. This
Is
is a lot worse.
indeed, indeed.
Uh, so
And especially the travel industry. This is where I want to lead to that.
yeah.
First, let's talk about 2008, and then we'll go on to
Yeah,
today's.
so everything fell off the cliff. So had to start again in terms of rebuilding the business from scratch. And I think the one thing that I've sort of learned over the years is you know the loyalty of my clients, looking after the customers,
Of course,
and
of course.
being true to what you're doing, honesty, and that's what enabled us to survive that period, because it built a really good following of loyal clients
Exactly.
who when everyone else was dropping the prices and everything, I maintained my price because this is what I do, this is what I can deliver, and I need to make a living, and that I'll deliver what I promise,
Yep,
and there'll be no corners cut.
of
And
course.
the client stuck with me, didn't query the price, and I delivered, and that's what's kept us going, throughout, really. So that's an important lesson. If you do a great job,
People
do
will
a
come to
good
you.
job, look after people will come. You don't have to drop your pants.
Of course. So today here we are in 2020. I'm sure everyone started the year with a great high, January, February, and then all of a sudden we hit COVID, lockdown, all that kind of stuff. How has it been for the travel industry, and what does it mean for you right now of how can you move on this business further with all these travel disruptions, hospitality disruptions, hotels closed, tourism closed? How is it affecting you, and what measures are you taking to move forward?
Yeah, I mean, coming into this year, I always knew that it was going to be 2020 was always going to be a very tough year, because of all the Brexit issues, which we've all seemed to have forgotten about.
Exactly.
Last year, where
Brexit now feels like it happened a decade ago.
I always knew on the back of Brexit, 2020 was always going to be tricky because people just stop spending, and hospitality and live events is always the first thing out the door,
Exactly.
for the corporates. So 2020 was going to be a tough year anyway, irrespective. But COVID has just completely blown blown everything off course.
Of course.
There's no live events. There's been no travel,
There's no
and
tourism.
the only thing, most of the things I've been dealing with right now has been event cancellations and refunds, which is very tough. But luckily we've got a bit of a we've got a cushion from the Japan World Cup, which happened at the end of last year. So England got to the
Yep.
final,
Yep.
but
Yep.
didn't quite cross that final line, unfortunately.
No,
But yeah, we had a good cushion from last year. There's no, I don't expect any event revenue or hospitality revenue for the rest of the year, and possibly into the first quarter of next year. So
seriously.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah. So in the interim, I've had to diversify what I'm doing, and thankfully we've got the furlough system, so all my staff are furloughed off currently. So that's helped quite a bit. I've diversified into selling PPEs for face masks, sanitizers.
Yes, I saw that on your profile. I was like, wow. This
Yeah,
is why I said, like Victor coming from rugby is now leading multiple businesses. So you've got the hospitality, you've got the tourism, and now you're selling PPE. Where are you getting your PPE from? From China or from other countries?
well, from various trusted suppliers
Okay.
who are shipping it in, and people who already in existence in that space. Because obviously I have no contacts in China
Of course.
to go and do something like that. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing. I also got involved with selling Teacup, which is a well-being app, self-reflective well-being app, because
Okay.
to help individuals and
Keep
corporates
fit.
monitor the well-being of their staff, and
Absolutely.
monitor your own personal well-being. Instead of
Absolutely.
it's about self-reflection, to help you understand your well-being,
Of course. Of
yeah,
course.
which yeah,
But
which is going to be quite a big thing coming out of
co
this
COVID
situation.
and lockdown and everything, it's all about
Yeah,
looking after yourself.
yeah. I mean,
Absolutely.
has been a big issue um, uh, in recent times, and there's a whole little whole a lot more mental health awareness going on, and people are talking about it now, and being able to talk about it openly, which is very important. By recognizing the situation, you can actually do
I
something
think
about it.
I think people are talking about that more because there's nothing much to talk about. Because they're not
People talk about
because
mental health because it's a real serious issue.
exactly, and not many people. I mean, mental health can be affected any which way. Like for example, all these large companies, all their staff is sitting at home. They're not
Yeah,
meeting their colleagues. They're not meeting their employers. They're just sitting at home with their family, working from home, and all that can affect the brain, like just sitting at home constantly. But I'm sure everyone will get out of it. But thank you so much for coming on here, Victor, and sharing all that knowledge with us, taking me through your career, from where you started, coming from Nigeria to where you are today. And I wish you all the best for the future. Before you go, I do this with all my guests that come on here to share positive advice with the world out here today so that they can take that positive advice on board and move forward in life. What positive advice would you like to share with them?
Positive advice. Keep healthy, stay healthy, and look after your family. Yeah, that's
Absolutely.
very, very, very important.
That's very important. Absolutely. But thank you so much, Victor. And I shall see you
That's a pleasure.
soon.
Take care. All the best.
Thank you. Bye bye. So that was Victor Obugu, professional rugby player for Bath, for England, now running his travel company, also selling PPE, also running a hospitality business. Wow. I mean, coming from one career to another and planning everything, like he mentioned in his whole conversation, that he planned all his life ahead so that he could achieve what he wanted to. It's all about planning. Thank you so much to Victor. Thank you to all the viewers that tuned in. It's been a pleasure to have you on. Do join me at 6 p.m. where I'll be on a live session with a property developer who develops property in the UK. So it'll be good to chat about property developing with him. So thank you so much to everyone. Have a great day ahead. Take care. Bye-bye.